Unveiling Fernando Pessoa, a philosophical journey into human existence. Fernando Pessoa, a name that echoes through the corridors of literature, carrying with it the depth of a life spent contemplating the mysteries of existence. In this video, we embark on a reflective journey to understand the man, the mind, and the profound body of work that shaped one of the most enigmatic literary figures of the 20th century. Pessoa was more than a poet. He was a philosopher of the human condition, a chronicler of the intangible emotions that define us, and a master of articulating disquieting truths about life. This exploration isn't just about Pessoa. It's about how his reflections inspire us to think deeply about our existence, our identity, and our place in the world. Through visuals inspired by the soulful streets of Lisbon, this video offers an immersive experience that embodies Pessoa's internal universe. His words, his philosophy, and his hauntingly beautiful view of life resonate with timeless questions. Who are we? What does it mean to exist? And how do we reconcile our aspirations with reality? Join us as we unravel Pessoa's life, his heteronyms, and his endless quest to understand the essence of being. Fernando Pessoa was born in 1888 in Lisbon, a city that would become central to his life and work. From an early age, he exhibited a unique inclination for introspection and creativity. Pessoa lived a largely solitary life, working mundane jobs to sustain himself financially while dedicating his heart and soul to writing. Yet, despite his quiet demeanor, Pessoa's mind was a universe in itself, a place where ideas about identity and existence constantly evolved and collided. He published very little during his lifetime, with most of his work unearthed after his death. Who was this man who left behind such a rich legacy of thought and imagination? Pessoa's life is marked by his dualities: anonymity versus fame, solitude versus longing, and the desire to understand life versus the impossibility of fully doing so. These contradictions form the very foundation of his timeless works. One of the most fascinating aspects of Pessoa's writing is his use of heteronyms, fully realized personas with their own biographies, voices, and philosophies. They were not mere pseudonyms, but distinctly separate writers Pessoa created to express the multifaceted nature of his thoughts. Among his most prominent heteronyms were Alberto Cairo, who embraced the simplicity of nature as truth; Ricardo Reis, a Stoic who saw life through a classical, moral lens; and Álvaro de Campos, a futurist who exuded passion and modernity. Then there was Bernardo Soares, the semi-heteronym closest to Pessoa himself, whose melancholic reflections formed Asterisk, the Book of Disquiet Asterisk. Each heteronym represents a different facet of existence, allowing us to see life from multiple perspectives. Pessoa used their voices to articulate opposing views within himself, thus giving expression to the complexity of human thought. This act of fragmentation mirrors our identities, the masks we wear, and the contradictions we navigate. Lisbon, its cobbled streets, melancholic fado music, and the ceaseless ebb and flow of the Tagus River served as both the physical setting and symbolic canvas for Pessoa's work. He reveled in the city's quiet corners, where he could observe life in all its forms. This video brings these elements to life with visuals capturing the poetic ambience of Pessoa's Lisbon. The city itself becomes a character, echoing his solitude and internal conflicts. It is here that Pessoa wrote his most profound musings, shaped by the rhythm of the streets and the subtle contrast between its bustling energy and his own inner stillness. To Pessoa, Lisbon was more than a city. It was a metaphor for the dualities of existence, the vastness of the external world, and the intimacy of the internal one. His relationship with the city epitomizes the interplay between the tangible and intangible facets of life. While Pessoa's heteronyms explored various philosophical approaches to life, his overarching theme remained constant: the search for meaning. Nowhere is this more evident than in the Book of Disquiet, his magnum opus that captures the fragmented and restless nature of being alive. Through Bernardo Soares, Pessoa channels a pervasive sense of disquiet, a longing for something more, tempered by an understanding of life's limitations. He wrote about solitude and alienation, not as weaknesses, but as intrinsic aspects of existence. For Pessoa, there was beauty in this melancholy, a comfort in recognizing that dissatisfaction and longing are universal experiences. His work questions the essence of identity. Are we the sum of our thoughts, or does something deeper define us? How do we reconcile our dreams with the mundane realities of daily life? These timeless reflections transcend his era, speaking directly to the modern condition. Pessoa often described existence as a duality, the clash between desire and disillusionment. His writing articulates the internal struggle we face when our aspirations collide with the limitations of reality. This tension, he believed, defines the human condition. His heteronyms embody this conflict. Alberto Cairo sought solace in the present moment, rejecting abstract thought in favor of raw experience. Álvaro de Campos, in contrast, was consumed by the intensity of feeling and the chaos of modern life. Together, they represent Pessoa's internal debate, echoing the broader human struggle to find balance and meaning. Pessoa's reflections go beyond mere philosophy. They are deeply personal, yet profoundly universal, offering a lens through which we can examine our own lives. His insights remind us that it is in the contradictions, the moments of longing and fulfillment, joy and sorrow, that life finds its richness. Pessoa's literary style is a tapestry of poetic visions, fragmented thoughts, and vivid imagery. His writing captures fleeting emotions and complex ideas with unparalleled precision. He had a knack for transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, imbuing everyday experiences with philosophical significance. Through metaphorical and real imagery, Pessoa painted landscapes of the human soul. His words are not just descriptive but evocative, conjuring an emotional resonance that lingers long after reading. Whether through the gentle simplicity of Alberto Cairo's verses or the introspective musings of Bernardo Soares, Pessoa's style is as varied as it is profound. His literary genius lies in his ability to communicate the ineffable, the emotions and thoughts that often elude articulation. He invites readers not just to understand his experiences, but to inhabit them, creating a connection that transcends time and space. Pessoa's work raises questions that are as relevant today as they were a century ago. Who are we really? Are we defined by our thoughts, our actions, or the roles we play in society? His philosophy encourages us to reflect on the gap between ambition and reality. How often do we allow our desires for greatness to blind us to the beauty of the present moment? Pessoa challenges us to embrace life's impermanence, to accept the inevitability of uncertainty. One of the most profound dichotomies in Pessoa's work is the interplay between joy and melancholy. He understood that happiness and sadness are not mutually exclusive but interconnected, two sides of the same coin. His reflections remind us to find meaning not despite life's hardships, but through them. This video brings Pessoa's inner world to life through carefully curated visuals inspired by his beloved Lisbon. The imagery is rich yet subdued. Sunlit streets fading into dusky alleyways, the Tagus River flowing endlessly, and intimate moments of solitude captured in muted hues. The color palette, dominated by soft, earthy tones, mirrors the contemplative mood of Pessoa's writings. These visuals don't merely serve as a backdrop but act as a bridge, connecting the viewer to the emotional and philosophical essence of Pessoa's world. Dynamic sequences reflect the turbulence of Pessoa's thoughts, his longing and disquiet juxtaposed with moments of clarity and peace. These visual elements, interspersed with Pessoa's written words and narrated reflections, create an immersive experience designed to stir the soul. Fernando Pessoa was more than a writer. He was a philosopher of existence, a weaver of emotions, and a relentless seeker of truth. His reflections on life, identity, and the nature of being continue to inspire readers and thinkers around the world. As this video reaches its conclusion, it leaves room for introspection. How do Pessoa's thoughts resonate with our own lives? Can we, like him, find beauty in life's uncertainties and contradictions? Pessoa reminds us that life's greatest truths often lie in its smallest moments, in the silences between words, in the spaces between dreams and reality. His work is an enduring invitation to reflect on what it means to be human. And so, as we part ways with this literary and philosophical journey, let us carry forward Pessoa's legacy, a testament to the power of imagination, introspection, and the art of being still in a world that never ceases to move. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel to discover more meaningful content about human existence.